All of us are standing here today, and our goal is in front of us to achieve. And if you stay in your lane, and this is where the direction thing comes in, what happens is we're so easily distracted either side, and we get out of our lane. But we all know in this business, if you have a goal and you're willing to work and you're willing to learn, you will achieve it. We know that for every new representative who joins us brimming with potential. If we can just keep her focused, we know that sometimes she's going to be feeling like she's in the fast lane. Sometimes she's going to be feeling as if she's stalled. And sometimes maybe stuck in traffic. But that doesn't stop anybody achieving whatever it is that they want to achieve in their Sulpata business. What actually sabotages us is our willingness to pull off the path. If you stay in your lane and you keep moving towards your goal, it actually doesn't matter if sometimes you're at a crawl and sometimes you even feel like you're in reverse. Stay in your lane. The danger is pulling into one of those little, very convenient, very comfortable, emotional handicap parking bays. And you know what they are because we're women and we're very good at one thing. Well, we're very good at many things. But one of them is that we constantly overestimate the challenge and underestimate ourselves. We look at people who are sterling directors and we think, I just can't imagine that I could ever be a sterling director. And yet, let me tell you right now, if you are a brand new star leader in this room right now, you have proven you have everything it takes to become a sterling director. All you have to do is work on, and we have those 5 key skills right up there on the screen. All you have to do is work on how to create a culture and environment in your team where your leaders are promoting out leaders. And that's just a skill you learn. That's not a difficult thing. And I will say to you, if you want that path laid out for you, make sure you have a look in your pack. Thank you so much for Sulpata. They have put some things in your pack that I have, materials I've developed to show you. But the attitude is the most important. And these little parking bays are so inviting. Sometimes we pull into them before we even realize we've done it. There's one with a sign on it, not me. Oh, I'm too busy. I'm too young. I'm too old. My children are at school. My children are still in diapers, whatever it is. But what we're actually saying is, I don't want to put myself in a position where I have to really find out how much power I really have inside me. Because by parking in that little bay, it almost gives us permission to fail. Even though we know in this business, you cannot fail if you do not quit until you succeed. So we're in that little parking bay. I know it. I was in it for so many years. Just to give you a very quick snapshot of my history in direct selling, how I got involved in it. My dad was an alcoholic, abusive, and I spent the first 20 years of my life living in a household that was every single day just a hothouse of abuse and violence and anger, because he would take all his anger at the world out on his kids when he came home. I married to get out of my life rather than into a happy marriage, so you can imagine how really well that one worked out for me. But I still had dreams. I still thought, I want things for myself. I want a calm household. I want my children to have love. So even though I had trained as a teacher, I left teaching to raise a family. And when I was 24, I had a 2-year-old daughter, a baby son, just weeks old, and I became the sole provider for my kids. And my first thought was, I have to go back teaching. That's what I have to do, because I need now to be the financial and I need to be the emotional support for my children. I don't know if there's anybody in this room today who has woken their children when they're not ready to be woken up, forced them to have their breakfast, got them dressed quickly, bustle, into the car, off to the babysitter, and leaves them for 7-8 hours while you go out to earn a living. And then if you've done that, you will know at the end of the day, as you're coming home to your children, you're telling yourself, I'm going to be a good mom. I'm going to spend all the time I possibly can with them. But on planet reality, it's like the morning in reverse. I have to play with them, read to them, bathe them, feed them, get them into bed. And instead of being a mom and giving them the love that I thought they needed, I would heave a sigh of relief when they were in bed asleep, because then I could get on with the housework and get on and prepare for another day. And I realized that something in my life had to change. I realized there had to be a better way to do this. And you as Sulpata leaders, you are finding people like me every single day and giving us that opportunity to realize that we can be the mom our kids deserve, but we can be successful businesswomen at the same time. We don't have to sacrifice our children to earn $1. And we all know, as women and as men in this room, that no woman, when her children, and no man, when her children have grown and left home, will ever wish she'd spent a single second less with them when they were young. Isn't that true? So we need to be sharing this business. Some of the managers and directors who'd heard me speak on a call said, Mary, you have to share this. So I will. Did you know that 25,000 people a day here in the United States sign a direct selling agreement with somebody? 25,000 people a day. It doesn't matter how many competitors that we have out there, you just have to make sure that you get your share of people. Because sponsoring is a process of matchmaking. You're looking for people who are perfect for Sulpata because Sulpata's perfect for them. You don't need everybody, but you have to ask everybody because you don't know who they are. And you will never be successful trying to handpick your team. Give everyone that opportunity and watch them grow. But you can't do it if you're parked in this little, not me, emotional handicap parking bay. So let me tell you how I did get involved in direct selling. I was in the staff room realizing that I was not being the mom that I had dreamed of being. And I happened to see a little notice in the paper, and it said work from home. I had no idea what it was, but whatever it was, I was interested. So I called the number, and the woman I spoke to was so nice on the phone, and she must have been so impressed with me because she said, I'm going to come and see you tonight. So I thought, well, that's a really, gave me a little bit of a confidence boost. So I did what we all do when someone's coming to our house. I cleaned, I got the children to bed, just as I'd always done. And that night, a very well-dressed woman walked into my house and interviewed me, but could have not have been more than 20 minutes. And you're not going to believe this. I got the job. And that's when I stepped over from being a full-time worker, part-time mom, to being a full-time mom and a full-time business entrepreneur. And I have just one regret about that day, and that's that I didn't do it sooner. Because this business does and is and will always change lives. And the challenges, the self-doubts, we just have to deal with them because they're always going to be there.